Okay, we just discussed how to simplify and multiply fractions. Now we're going to talk about how to divide fractions and then how to add and subtract fractions with the same denominator. So when we divide fractions, first we want to identify the reciprocal of the second fraction or whole number. So a reciprocal is just where you flip it upside down. So for example, if you look at the note below step 2, it says two numbers are reciprocals if their product is 1, such as 2/5 and 5/2. So you see, to make a reciprocal, you turn the numerator into the denominator and the denominator into the numerator. The second step is to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So sometimes you'll hear this as keep, change, flip as a memory device. So you keep the first fraction, you change the division to multiplication, and you flip the second fraction. So for example, -5/8 divided by -25/4, we keep the first fraction, so -5/8. We change the division to multiplication, and we flip the second fraction. So -25/4 becomes -4/25. And now we're back to multiplying. So -5 is -5 times 1. 8 is 2 times 4. And then in our second fraction, we have -4 times 1. And we have 5 times 5 in the denominator. And now we can cancel some things out. So we cancel a 5 with a 5. We cancel a 4 with a 4. And so that leaves us with -1/2 times -1/5. Remember, we multiply straight across. So -1 times -1 gives us a +1. And 2 times 5 gives us a +10. Now you should pause the video and try to do number 6 on your own, and then restart the video and check your answer. So for this one, remember, we have a whole number 12, which we can write over 1. And now we do the keep, change, flip. So we have -4/3 times 1/12. So we can leave the -4/3 alone. 12 is 3 times 4. So we'll change that denominator into 3 times 4. Now we can cancel the 4s. Remember, that leaves the 1 here. So we have -1 times 1 gives us -1. Divide by 3 times 3 is 9. So we should have -1/9. So that's how we divide fractions. Now let's talk about adding and subtracting fractions that have the same denominator. So to add or subtract fractions, as long as the denominator is the same, we add or subtract the numbers in the numerators. And we keep the common denominator. And then we reduce or simplify the fraction if it's necessary to do so. So for this first one, if we look at 11/25 minus 16/25, okay, this is a subtraction problem. So we are going to subtract the numbers in the numerators, and that will give us our new numerator. And we keep the number in the denominator, which is 25. So 11 minus 16 is a -5 divided by 25, which reduces, let's see, we have -5 times 1 in the numerator and 5 times 5 in the denominator. So 5's cancel out, and we're left with -1/5. Okay, again, you should pause the video here and attempt number 8 on your own, and then restart the video to see if you got the right answer. So this time we have -12/7 plus 26/7. So we have a -12 plus 26 is our new numerator, and 7 will be our denominator. -12 plus 26 is a +14/7. And now we have to simplify. So 14 is 7 times 2. 7 is just 7 times 1. So the 7's cancel, which leave us with 2/1. Remember, anything over 1 is just a whole number, so we can just write that as a 2. So in the next video, we will talk about what to do when we need to add or subtract fractions that have different denominators.